Today is Wednesday, January 24th, 2018, and it is time for Eezeey Gamer, which is the Wednesday show that I do. Today, as you can see in the title, we're going to talk about Forza, specifically Forza Horizon 4. Mainly the speculation of where Forza Horizon 4 is going to be. Now, they're about 5 months away from announcing anything. They usually like to announce at E3. So we're a good 5 months away from this. So there's going to be a lot of speculation, a lot of speculative videos. A lot of the speculation I'm seeing is for Japan. Now, I don't know. From all the videos I've seen, it seems like that's more wishful thinking than actual factual based. Now, they said there's some YouTuber out there. Not, I don't know if he's a YouTuber or a blogger or something like that, but he predicted Australia, and I guess he predicted a couple of other things in the Forza series. He's even predicted a couple of other things in video games. So he's got a pretty good track record. Well, they're saying he is saying that it's going to happen in Japan. Now, most Forza fans, Forza Horizon fans, want to see it be in Japan. Um, I'm good with Japan. I'm a huge anime fan, or used to be a huge anime fan. I love Japan. I'd love to see a game there. The problem is, I, I played a couple of video games that have put themselves in Japan, and Japan is very dense. You got to figure Japan as a country is the size of California, and it has more people than California. So anybody who lives in California can tell you how crowded California is. So you can imagine how crowded Japan is. Tokyo is incredibly dense. Um, and anytime you don't ever see cars moving really fast through Japan. I know they have a drifting culture and they have the JDM stuff, um, but I don't know. I don't know about the elevation changes. Yes, you have Fujikaido, which is their big mountain, but I don't know if that's a mountain you really just drive up. Every time I've ever seen this thing, it looks more like a giant volcano than a giant dormant volcano than it looks anything else. Every time I see the picture, it's always got snow on top, but not thinking that any fires come out of it recently. It just looks like that. I don't know for sure if it's a dormant volcano or if it's just a big mountain. But I know there is some hilly areas in Japan. There are some, I think there are some mountains. Um, but it is a video game, and you can just loosely base the city that you build on the original country. I mean, you can build the environment to reflect that you are in Japan, and that's probably what they'll do. When they did Colorado, I live in Colorado. Believe me, there was only one thing in that game that was even remotely close in the original Forza Horizon that remotely was Colorado. I mean, Colorado has two major interstates that kind of cross through each other. I mean, I-70 and I-25 kind of cross over each other, and that was never reflected in the game. And it's a busy area and a big area. Now, in a video game, you don't want a busy traffic area because it doesn't really lend itself to fun driving. But it's not a great representation of what the state is. I mean, it was still a fun game. Don't get me wrong. I love playing it. I just hated that it said Colorado and I'm here and I'm trying to find things that I can go, that's Colorado. They had the Red Rocks thing, or the red area, which was supposed to represent Red Rocks, which is a thing in Colorado, and it looked pretty good, but like I said, they said it was a loose interpretation, and they were right. Japan, I think, is going to be a tough pull off for them. Um, then the other one, and this is the one I kind of lean a little bit more towards on speculation, Dubai. Dubai has, Japan has a real good car culture as well, but Dubai has a really good car culture as well. There's a ton of money in that Middle Eastern area, tons of money. They build gigantic buildings there that are almost monuments to just being rich. So I can see in the car culture, if you want to see the biggest and baddest supercars and hypercars that exist, they're there. They're in Dubai because that's where some of the richest people on the planet are, and they love those cars. I guarantee you, I guarantee you, there's probably a guy that's got, the Porsche 918 and the the Ferrari LaFerrari and the McLaren P20, and he's just all got them sitting next to each other in a garage. He's probably got the Bugatti Chiron. He's probably got some of the most expensive vehicles in the world. There's a great car culture over there. You've also seen, if you watch Top Gear, you've seen Richard Hammond race a McLaren versus a Bugatti Veyron on those roads. Think of being able to drag race on that like 5-lane massive road, which is like 10 lanes wide, 5 on each side. It could be some fun there. You could get some good, it'd be fun to have a 5-lane drag, even as just one of the races. I think it's going to be a little bit more Dubai, because if you look at the most recent track that was put out in Forza Motorsport 7, it was Dubai. Which means they had to send some people over to kind of research everything and look around. I think it's a little bit, you can have the dunes. They've got all these, like the Razor and the Pensacola, the alumni craft. They got, those bouncy, almost, they'd be perfect in the sand. And you can make a lot of open space with all that sand and have a good time out there, and you'd have a lot of open space. Dubai can give you a great city racing environment, and then they can give you some open spaces out in the desert. And it's a burgeoning. Then they have that big island thing, I think, that's man-made. You can drive around on those. I'll lean towards Dubai only for the fact that they've been there recently. The thing is, we need to figure out, as Forza fans, who takes the pictures? Who's the people that go over there? Because it's not the leader of Playground Games, and it's not Dan Greenwald, who's the leader of Turn 10 Studios. Those guys aren't going over there taking a bunch of pictures, and we need to find out and follow those guys on like Twitter or Instagram. Follow the guys that they send over to like film the night sky for 2 months, or just maybe somebody in Japan or somebody in Dubai could say, there's a camera that's just been sitting here for months and it's just pointed up. It's not pointing at anything in particular. It's just sitting on a hill pointed up. That's how you would know. That's how you would know where they are, because it's like they're filming the sky like they did for Australia. So you want to follow those guys. Those guys, it's like, sit there and go, well, I'm going to be away from the wife for a while because I got to go to Dubai and take pictures of the sky. Or I've got to go to Japan and film the stars above it. Then you sit there and you go, psh, that's where the next one's going to be, right there. Because you're not going to spend a lot of money to try to throw people off and sit there and go, no, we're going to send one crew to Dubai and one crew to Japan so that we can throw off the Forza Horizon fans. No, there's not enough of us. If there was 20 million of us, if this was a game that sold like Grand Theft Auto, they might do something like that to throw us off. They'd have the money. This is Forza. Forza Horizon, I think they sell about 1 million copies on the Horizon series, maybe 2 million. They sell pretty good, but not enough to send people all over. So we just need to find out who are the people taking pictures of the sky. And then we need to follow them, or we need to figure out who they are and find out where they're going. And then we'd know. Then we'd know who is, what is the next city. I'm going to lean towards Dubai. Japan would be a ton of fun. I think Dubai could be a ton of fun. But then again, they made Australia fun. They made Southern Europe fun. And they made Colorado fun. So any place that they choose, it's going to be fun, because they just know how to build an open world game. Playground does a really good job. those Horizon games are better than the Motorsport games. The Motorsport games are becoming stale, but the Horizon games still have a ton of fun. Now, this is going to be the thing. Forza Horizon 4, when Forza Motorsport started to get stale, was after number 4. So this should be their best one, because a lot of people will point to Motorsport 4 as the pinnacle of the Motorsport series. This is going to be the fourth Horizon. So we got, this is probably going to be our best game if it tracks like Motorsport. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm looking ahead. I mean, this game won't get released until September or October, probably September, but it won't get released for another 8 months, and I'm already looking forward to it. And there's still stuff coming out for Motorsport, but Motorsport doesn't have the same pull that it used to. The Forza Motorsport 7 was good, and it was better than 6, and it's better than 5. But it's not as good as 4 and 3. That's a problem. I will do a video on how the Motorsport series can improve. But as for Forza Horizon, it's still improving. So it's still getting better, and it's still a ton of fun. I think it's going to be Dubai. More open space, a lot of sand for all them off-road vehicles to kind of play around in. To me, Tokyo makes sense because it has a great car culture. Tokyo is what the fans have been requesting basically since the first one came out. They've wanted the second and the third to be in Japan. So if they want to do what the fans want, then they'll go to Japan, which I don't have a problem with. I think they'll make a great racing game in Japan. And in those lights and in those, I know they would make a great Tokyo. They wouldn't call it Tokyo, but they would make a great Tokyo, and they would have some great. They would create some great mountains or hills or off-road areas. Excuse me. They would create some great areas. They always do. I don't think they'll make it bigger than the Australia map. I think it'll be about as big as the Australia map. It'd be tough to make them one bigger and keep it at 30 frames per second and keep a seamless world. But if anybody can do it, Playground can do it. So I think it's going to be Dubai. That's my prediction. It's way in advance, no information, just kind of speculation on the most recent track that we've gotten in the Motorsport series, and that's really the only thing I'm going off of. And it's something that it's something that it doesn't seem out of the realm of, impossibility. So, with all that being said, to all the troops, past, present, and future, thanks for the freedom.